what you're hearing just now must be manna from heaven. You know, you're hearing about two enlightened clients talking about early stage involvement for contractors in the design process, off-site prefabrication. I mean, is this what you want as a contractor? The market has been tough for you. I don't mean Alec, I mean contractors generally. Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah, thanks, Richard. Yeah, good morning to everybody. Definitely, I think, you know, that's something that has been missing for a long time, is actually that kind of early engagement. And we've always felt as contractors that we do have a lot of value to add, you know, in that respect. And, you know, we do end up being, you know, a major stakeholder in these projects when they kick off. So it's always, we've always questioned, you know, the lack of interface in the early doors, because we do believe that we can actually bring a lot of value. But obviously, you know, I guess from a client's perspective, what's happening there is you sort of compromising competition, which is kind of the tradition in the market, you know. But yeah, you're right. I mean, things have become quite tough of late, and obviously as contractors, I mean, I don't need to tell you guys that we are right at the sharp end of all of this. So I mean, you know, the economy's slowed, sentiment is pretty low at the moment, so we're seeing a lot fewer tenders. You know, there's less investment. And then there's some of the sort of spin-off behaviors around that, so kind of default on payment. You know, we've seen quite a few big players disappearing from the market, and of course the cascading effect of that, the supply chain that goes with it, and then unfortunately, you know, the individuals and the families that are affected. So it has been pretty desperate, and then also what we have been seeing a little bit more of is, you know, some clients or developers that perhaps see this as an opportunity to take some advantage. So some of the tenders that are coming out, we're starting to see some quite difficult terms and conditions being pushed down, you know, even worse payment terms than we were seeing before in terms of timing, which, you know, make things pretty challenging when contractors and the supply chain are already struggling for cash. You know, signing up to new projects in this day and age. Can
I just come in on that point, actually? I'm curious to know what type of, if we can sort of separate the types of clients. So, you know, obviously we have Aldar and Red Sea Development Company talking at the moment, and those are big clients who have repeat projects and a strategic approach. The ones that you're just talking about, where you're getting more aggressive and less attractive contracts being tendered, do they tend to come from the kind of one-off clients who perhaps just want the lowest price that they can get? Or
yeah, yeah, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, is there you know, are we seeing a sort of different behaviors from different types of organization?
I think you're right. I think from most of the bigger, more mature clients, we're definitely seeing recognition that there's issues that need to be overcome, and people trying to explore better ways of doing things. So yeah, probably more the one-off developers and maybe sort of mid-tier clients and developers that you see more of that coming from. So yeah, but I think we talk about this more and more nowadays, and it's encouraging to see the amount of discussion that goes on around trying to find better ways of doing things. I would sort of caution against sort of getting too far ahead of ourselves. I think we kind of got to walk before we run, and sort of ask ourselves, what's the real reason around the issues we're facing? And you know, we've had very successful projects under sort of traditional contractual frameworks, and we've had failures where we've tried to do an alternative contractual framework. And a lot of the issues sit within, you know, behaviors. And, you know, people, whatever your contractual framework is, I think it's got to say the right sort of things. And I think people need to, and organizations need to, take responsibility and do what's required under those things. You know, often collaboration is just a mindset. It's not necessarily the words written down in a contract, you know, which I think is quite important. And I think a couple of tweaks go a long way. So I mean, key things like having, you know, responsibility in the right places, risk apportionment, making sure that the right behaviors are incentivized. And I think, you know, we could go a long way. I mean, even design and build. So our experience is design and build is a great delivery model, but we can't seem to kind of get there. We just don't see enough of it. And I mean, that's a small step. There's been talk around the construction management there by Faisal. I think that's a great model. I think that's got legs. And I think Raymond was, he was saying there's many ways to collaborate, right? There's all kinds of different ways. And I think that's what we sort of need to explore, some of the softer issues around the contract and making sure, great to talk about these sort of alternate frameworks, but how do we make sure that we get the right behaviors from all the stakeholders within the ones we have,
It was very interesting just now, Sean, when you said it's about mindset. All three of the other panelists nodded exactly and said that you clearly there is a consensus that it's not just about the contract, it's also about the attitude and the mindset.